Matangi is absolutely met in the hole by Kamoilatu.
Oh, now if you're St. Louis, made the play. Timeout's going to be taken here.
Well, Zealand Matangi is not well. His shoulder is being looked at by the trainer. He's doubled over in pain, and he is their go-to guy.
I think St. Louis might challenge the spot here. So Cal Lee is talking over with Craig Shaner. So far, we just have a timeout signal. We don't have an official announcement of a challenge. And now the flag. Somebody came.
Timeout, St. Louis. St. Louis is challenging the spot on the field.
Somebody gave Kelly the flag. He just dropped it on the ground.
I think the initial contact point, I think he gets it. Now he goes backwards because of the big hit by Latu, but they're gonna count it at where the ball is at.
Remember, because that's the opposite side, that's the Kahuku 49.5-yard line that you're looking at. First down stick was at around the 50, and so the booth upstairs will look at this one. Remember, the win rate on challenges is only 20% so far in the tournament. They're 1-for-20. See Mitchell Remba on the right side, the replay official looking right after this one. Okay, because this is at an angle, be a definitive rule. Good stop though from Latu, but dives into that gap. Remember, if St. Louis wins, they have a chance to win a third challenge. Dives into that gap.
The ball carrier did not make the 50-yard line.
St. Louis
the ball carrier
wins, they have a chance to win a third challenge. Dives into that gap.
The ball carrier did not make the 50-yard line.
St. Louis wins, they have a chance to win a third challenge. Dives into that gap.
I tell you what, you credit Kamoilatu playing from his free safety position. He just flew in. But again, we're talking about a Zealand Matangi who's not 100% and who took a big shot and is out of the game currently with a shoulder.
Taliulu's the back here. Delora through the window to Matt Sykes. Leaping out in front, gets the first down right at the 39-yard line. So we mentioned that St. Louis won the challenge. They still have one challenge left. If they win that, they can earn a third and not charge a timeout. It was a good job from the St. Louis staff, too, to recognize it or at least call timeout to at least buy some time. Kahuku had no time to run a play and negate the challenge. Goes to Wilson, guarded by Matira. Look at the way, we mentioned this earlier, but look how Cal Leaf drops his flag. Give me my flag. Give me my flag. Where's my flag? Here it is, coach. Nah.
He has a flag carrier.
Give it to Taliulu, wide open. Kanafunomo on a Vamu Kundena, but Ace Kaufusi did. Good job from Taliulu. What a run to around the 15-yard line.
What a great and well-executed draw play. Only the second true run of the game.
And the clock's spinning here. This is play 4 of this St. Louis drive after taking over and winning the challenge and getting the ball back. We're in the play clock. Delora gets rid of it, and it is caught by Silva. He's really stepped out of bounds. Ace Kalfusi was there and got it to around the 7-yard line. So Silva, after this season is over, will head to the basketball court. Remember, there's a brand new St. Louis basketball coach, Dan Hale, former Puno head man, and his boys ready. Stepped out right there. Silva underrated in this core. Second catch tonight for 13 yards. Second and a couple. Delora, end zone, incomplete, and penalty flag bounces through. Peter John Matira on Roman Wilson.
I like what Peter John Matira does here. He's going to get beat for a touchdown. Why not make a tackle?
Pass interference, defense, number 13. Half the distance to the goal. Penalty results in a first down.
That's a tough mismatch too, by the way. 5'8". It's 5'11" there. Matira's made a great play. He already has an interception today. Nishigaya's the back. Nishigaya reaches across in for the touchdown.
Great strength by Nishigaya. Went wide, and a few Kahuku defenders were waiting for him wide. It looks like he was going to get hemmed in right here. And he does a great job of carrying guys across the line.
Touchdown confirmed. Let's see here. It's automatically reviewed, so they're looking upstairs. It is confirmed, and so Napuno would, they're going to wait here. Not fully confirmed. Remember, that ball kind of leaked out just a little bit, but he did maintain possession across the line. Kahuku threw a flag, but because it was ruled a touchdown, they don't need to challenge because it's automatically reviewed. You see the red flag thrown here, but so unless Cernan Carvalho is challenging something else. So Risa Mimona will come over to him and give the flag right back. See, Sterling carries his own flags. Look at the end of the play. So the ball leaks out a little bit here. It was a knee down prior to the ball going across the goal line. Knee down, and it's a hard determination. So they're going to say that the touchdown stands. Either way, Nishigaya recovered it too, so even if it was a fumble, it would have been a touchdown. And that kick is good. Nishigaya, his second rushing touchdown here today, the 7th of the season. They get big plays and take advantage of a challenge to get the ball back and bring the lead back up to 15. Hey, check out the new Spectrum store over at Pearl Highlands Center. Open Monday through Saturday 9 to 8 and Sundays 10 to 6. Get all the latest technology. Learn about Spectrum Mobile. Get the coolest accessories as well. Go ahead and check it out. A pick six that was called back because of an illegal block in the back for Kahuku. Could it change the complexion of this game? had the ball, moved it to midfield. St. Louis challenges the spot on 4th down. They get the ball back and they turn that into a touchdown. And so St. Louis is on top by 15 from the 6-yard line. Here's Tomasi Pasi, a reverse, and another reverse to Kelson Tengaro Kanoa. Down the sideline, and Kamoi Latu just stares him out of bounds.
You know, I like the call, but I'd like to see the triple reverse happen to the wide side of the field. What happened was this fooled everyone, but you ran out of real estate here. You just didn't have enough space to make it happen.
To the 29-yard line. See the scoring drive here for the Crusaders on their last one. Dan Kahuku answered back. Matangi got a 38-yard touchdown run with 8 seconds to go in the first. Inside give here to Zeelan Matangi. Now we're going to be watching that arm very closely. Remember, the athletic trainers and the doctors have checked on him a number of times to make sure that he's okay.
Tough.
15 carries, 56 yards. Kelson Tengaro Kanoa, the back. Adolfo's 3 for 5 through the air for 16 yards. Adolfo takes off. Tries to shake away Mason Tufungo, but he closes in, but gets positive yardage out of it. Adolfo this season has only rushed for positive yards in 5 games this year, but we have penalty flag down.
And you know that a defense is really good when it looks like they're playing with 14 players.
Sideline warning. So each team warned. Oh, that 6-foot space. You saw Robbie Toma in the foreground there. Offensive assistant for Kahuku. And it stunts a little bit up front, and it's a sack for Daryl Masaniai Alualu. Number 6 of the season.
He came in like water.
There's a whole bunch of leaks.
Wow. Oh, he beat his man.
My goodness. Prince Solomon back deep to return the punt. Oh, this is a high short one, and it's got backspin. And St. Louis is going to get it a great position at the 34-yard line. 10 on the punt.
10 on the punt. That is amazing. A 10-yard punt. Now he got...
Was there a...
There was contact made, but Botello was, you know, very nice and helping him up. And they're not going to call that. It was incidental contact, if anything.
Yona Purcell tried to scoop it up and like, take it as if he was going to the end zone for the touchdown, but it was already touched by a Kahuku player, and so that's why.
And look at the St. Louis sideline. They have an army of players and coaches.
Taking a shot for Wilson, overthrew him. Peter John Matira in coverage.
I mean, they have a ton of not only players but coaches. I mean, it looks like Braveheart when the group is running out for battle.
Yeah.
They got guys sideline to sideline, players, coaches, staff. They are well equipped.
They have money in the budget for a flag carrier, apparently. Here's Delora. Oh, look at that. Delora just stays almost untouched, but great effort from Alan Talanoa to try and chase him to the sideline. Gets out at around the 26.
And it's going to be fun to see where Jaden DeLaura ultimately ends up. Now, he did make a verbal commitment to Washington State, but since then have gotten some big offers, Ohio State and USC to name two, and we will see where he ends up. But wherever he ends up, this guy is fun to watch.
Also has the University of Hawaii that's offered him too. 3rd and 2. Here comes Tumpa. Good stop there for Kahuku. On 3rd and 2, it'll bring a 4th down after the stop from their 3rd-year varsity man.
Nice job by Kana.
Dealt with illnesses, arm injuries. The guy is a monster. Now it's 4th down. Can the defense make a big play? Fake the pitch, now threw it out right to Taliulu. Penalty flag is down. As Elijah Latu helps on the stop, but this is right in the middle of the pile. They run that play so well, right? Fake the pitch, bait the defense in, and then pitch it out late.
They call that the speed option in football. You know, one thing about, I just noticed you called Kana Fonoimoano Vaumu a monster. Only in football is monster a compliment.
Personal foul. Defense. Number 46, hands to the face. Half the distance to the goal. 1st down.
Kinai Li'ua gets called for that foul. With 4:14 remaining here in the 2nd. They've run the ball a number of times in this part of the field. Ben Masaniai is in for Kahuku. Run here for Taliulu. Taliulu trying to back his way through, but it's Kinai Li'ua.
Number 76, St. Louis, is required to be out for 1 play due to his helmet coming off.
Kalen Ellis.
Taliulu is a big man, 6 feet, 225. Does his best work in the trenches as an extra blocker, but you can see him running the ball. He's no slouch.
Ethan Spencer is in. Another run, but a stop here for Zion Ayu. The clock continues to tick down. We're inside of 4 minutes. Mason Taliulu only had 5 carries for 20 yards in the last game. His father played at Kearns High School in Utah. Brother Mason was a rugby athlete, great player too. And they're going to try and keep it himself. And the pile is, see here, no signal yet. Touchdown, Jaden DeLaura. His 7th rushing touchdown this season.
Look at the drive and look at the bodies being moved. That big offensive line.
Yeah.
71, Sava'inaya, 6'2", 332. Big number 79 was in there. Kapoy at 285. And of course, Ketret, who goes 381.
And Napuanoa slides that one in. And the lead goes up to 22. Thanks to DeLaura's rushing touchdown. So a lot of talk here about St. Louis, obviously, is the win streak, is the fact that they're just outside the top 5 of the national polls. This is the final year of the 2-year pilot between the OI and the ILH and interleague play. The principals and the athletic directors and the administrators will have to discuss that. I do think 3 divisions will stay for next year. The question is whether both parties can agree and benefit from another interleague season.
You know, I think, you know, this may not be a popular opinion, but I'd like to see St. Louis at this point, if they win tonight and go for a four-peat, I'd like to see them travel to the mainland and be like an independent school where they go and travel and play the top programs in the nation, like IMG and Bishop Gorman and Mater Dei, and I think they would represent Hawaii really well. I think the program has grown so big. It's grown so big, so strong, and is such a powerhouse. I think they can represent Hawaii on a national stage with an all-independent schedule.
And of course, those talks have happened in the past. Another reverse here for Garcia. Garcia trying to get a downfield block and gets blasted out there by Iona Purcell, the linebacker. I think Kunaho kind of had some soft discussions about that, or just at least spitballing or brainstorming about the idea behind it. That's another thing, though, right? The formula is the way that it is, right? 3 OIA, 1 ILH, but it's interesting that Kunaho is watching this right now, or maybe they aren't, but they're watching this.
They're the second best team in the state, bar none.
Here's Jimmy.
I think it's a lot, guys. You know, the St. Louis cheerleaders, a.k.a. the Sacred Hearts cheerleaders, 3-time defending medium division state champions. You know, I talked to them before the game. They're a little sad this is the last game of the season, but they're excited because they're prepping for February, heading back up to the Jams Nationals in Vegas, which, by the way, they won that as well last year. So Coach Katie Bicalta and her crew excited for what's to come.
Jimmy, you and I were there for that as they won the state championship out there. Penalty flag down as Latu knocks down Kelson Tangaro Kanoa.
Well, you got a safety like Kamoi Latu, who's usually unblocked and unaccounted for in the run game, and he can come up with such speed and precision and power to make a tackle in the run game. That's a weapon.
No flag on the play. No flag on the play.
So they wave it off.
Someone dropped a hanky. But here's Kelson Tangaro Kanoa, who is a speedy back. It was just one tackle away from really breaking it, and that man, Kamoi Latu, has done a great job. He hasn't defended a pass tonight, hasn't had to, and he's been called upon to be an extra defender in the run game.
Pulled back on the pass, and Jordan Botello knocks down Adolfo. Notre Dame commit with the sack.
And again, getting back to what I said earlier, they have so many stars on this team, guys that are going to Notre Dame and Wisconsin and Michigan and UCLA, and they've got guys in USC. I mean, they are on another level talent-wise, no doubt about it. And again, this is no criticism of St. Louis. I think they would really do well on a national level if they were an independent.
3rd and 11 here. Kelson Tangaro Kanoa's got speed, and he got nearly slipped by Kaiser Cambridge-O, but Brian Cox helped to finally make the tackle. It's 4th down coming up. Yeah, timeout called.
He's, you know, Kelson Tangaro Kanoa, he's going to be the next star.
Second timeout of the first half.
He'll be the next Kahuku star on the horizon as a runner. Only a sophomore. We saw what he did in the OIA championship with that game-sealing kick return. He's going to be something special.
Well, our big board is becoming. We just have one event left in 2019. We hope you join us from historic Queens Beach. Kevin Wong and the great people for the Hawaii High School Beach Volleyball Championships. USC, an exhibition taking on the University of Hawaii. So we'll see you at 2 o'clock on Spectrum OC 16 coming up on Sunday. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way, Barty.
Oh, yeah, same to you. It was awesome.
You had a good holiday?
A great holiday. Kids came home. They're currently home for the short vacation, so it's great to see them.
Did you go shopping?
Nope, I do not shop.
Who buys your stuff then?
I go online.
Oh, okay. Amazon?
Usually.
Okay. Prince Solomon back deep to return the Mana Moana Valmu punt.
When I go to the malls, all I do is talk story, Joe, aloha. It doesn't work for me. I get nothing done.
Got underneath that. Good kick here. Look how quick Kahuku gets down the field. Solomon got no chance to try and return it. As this one should be touched, and it will be at around the 34-yard line. Punt of 39 yards. Okay. They are watching huddle right now.
There you go. Huddle sideline replay.
How much work can you get done on something like that, though?
Well, I tell you what, when you got people that know what they're doing, they can cut it and splice it during the game. I was just talking to the Iolani film guy, Chris Williams, and they cut and splice the film during the game, and after the game, the film is ready to go.
And you do that too, right, personally?
Yeah. I don't have guys to do it.
Delora to Wilson. Wilson ran into Ace Kalfusi. Bring him down. That middle of the field opened right at the 43-yard line. The gain of 23. Wilson at 129 receiving yards now. Averaging over 30 a catch today. First and 10. Delora through Nishigaya. Wow, how rare does that happen, huh?
That thing came hot.
Through Nishigaya's hands. Delora 8 for 12, 192 yards, a touchdown and an interception. He has 13 touchdowns and 7 picks in the last 4.5 games now. But he's thrown a pick in the last 5 consecutive games. Over 3,000 passing yards this season. Delora throws, Nishigaya catches. Stopping on a dime, pass Abiel. Knocked down by Kana Funomoanavalmu. Inside the 40 to the 38, the gain was 5, and it's 3rd and 5 coming up.
Yeah, Kana is a monster. The guy can make open field tackles. He's playing with that, elbow not 100%. Look at him, flying in.
Short route out of bounds. It's Wilson to add to already a terrific night. It's out of bounds at around the 21-yard line. Or 26-yard line, excuse me. $141 already in the first half with 19 to go. St. Louis will try and add to their 22-point lead. They use that term dynasty a lot when you talk about St. Louis. 14 consecutive Prep Bowls. And in this recent era, in the Cowley era, they have been so awesome in this Division I Open Championship tournament. This is like Pass League right now, the way that this is going on.
Yeah, they're doing whatever they want right now. They're making it look easy right now.
Roman Wilson caught for 190 against Punahou. Already a touchdown catch here today. 8 in the last 10 games now for him. 14 to go. Timeout in the pocket for the Crusaders. Oh, the ball with an ugly snap. Delora, that one batted up in the air, incomplete. Kana Funomoanavalmu goes up and deflects it.
That was an ugly series of events. Ugh, a terrible snap. And a good job of just trying to get away, get that ball out. And there he is. Kana Funomoanavalmu is the man.
He's a manster.
Yes, half man, half monster.
His leadership, his ability to push other guys in practice. I've seen it over in the North Shore and in a great
Game clock
community.
operator, please put 9 seconds on the game clock. 9 seconds.
Yeah, it feels like these two guys, him and his brother Mana, have been on this team forever.
Oh yeah, they have been stalwarts. They have been just amazing players on defense at that back level and at linebacker.
extra blocker in the backfield. Delora fires to Wilson. Tight window through his hands. With 3 seconds to go. Might get a field goal attempt here.
Jaden Delora drops another dime right into the corner, into the hands, right through the hands. That was a catchable ball. Roman Wilson, if he came up with it, had his foot in bounds, it would have been a touchdown.
So here's Napu'unoa from 35 out. And a whistle, timeout taken by Kahuku.
Timeout, Kahuku. Second timeout of the first half.
And so, we'll try and ice him here a little bit. Sunday, it's a doubleheader of Hawaii basketball. You can tune in at 2 p.m. as the Rainbow Wahine takes on Texas, and then stay tuned as the Rainbow Warriors battle Hawaii Pacific, only on Spectrum Sports. So here's Napu'unoa. Of course, you're in the varsity team.
There you see Cal Lee coaching up the O-line. He just loves to coach the O-line and the D-line. He understands and knows that that is where everything begins and ends. If you don't have a strong O-line and D-line, you don't have anything.
This is from 35 to end the half and take a 25-point lead into the locker room. Napu'unoa. Money. And a great half here for St. Louis. 322 total yards of offense. 76 for Kahuku. Had some hope with Zealand Matangi and his 38-yard touchdown run. Trying to run him over. But St. Louis answers back and runs wild. The first score of the game for Wilson, and the lead is 25.
All right.
Have a good time.
We're at the half in the First Hawaiian Bank Division I Open Championship. And it's St. Louis with a 25-point lead, 31-6. At the break, as St. Louis tries to capture their fourth consecutive state championship. Felipe Ojastro up here in the booth with our good friend Ralph Misek from First Hawaiian Bank, Executive Vice President, Chief Risk Officer. Good to see you. It's been a while again.
Real good to see you again.
Hard to believe it's been 5 years that you and I have been having conversations up here at the half. First Hawaiian Bank's always been a longtime sponsor of the state tournament. What's the relationship like between First Hawaiian Bank and the Hawaii High School Athletic Association?
Well, it's great. You know, we're really proud to be part of this, and we really take a lot of pride in supporting high school athletics here in the state.
And it's something that's just so special, I know, for the HHSAA, because you've been one of the longer sponsors for this gigantic event, too.
I think probably 2002.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's been a long time, and it's been a great run. And the new format is really great. Having, 3 championships, and, I know that's hard on you, but
right.
It's a great way to, celebrate a good season.
We see the commercials all the time, right, with Marcus Mariota and First Hawaiian Bank. If you can discuss, kind of his partnership and what he best represents, I guess, for First Hawaiian Bank.
Well, he represents a lot of the things that we stand for in our culture, and I think, this year again we had our annual giving campaign we call Kahuku Mai, raised $816,000. So together with the foundation this year, we'll contribute $2.5 million into the community, over 30 nonprofits.
How much pride do you take in being part of a company? Because everywhere we go, it seems that First Hawaiian Bank continues to give out to the community, right? Whether it's high school sports or other notable charities. How much pride do you take in being a part of a company that's so giving here?
A lot of pride. 99% of our employees participate in the giving campaign, and then on the weekends you'll see them out doing things. I think last year we contributed 7,000 hours to the community, so that's really something special.
Aren't you tired? You seem like a busy man. You're not tired at all?
Oh, not at all. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
And you got a trophy to give out later today, correct?
Yeah, we're going to give out a trophy at the end of the game, and we'll see who wins. I know Kahuku has a bit of a ways to go, but you never know.
And you just missed the Division I championship game, is that right?
I did. I was out in the parking lot. I heard a tremendous roar, and I said, "Oh boy."
Well, let me give a tremendous roar on behalf of HHSAA and all the Hawaii high school athletes. I mean, long-time sponsorship for the First Hawaiian Bank State Football Championships. Ralph, and you're a great crew over in First Hawaiian Bank. Thank you so much for everything you've done for us.
Thank you.
Ralph Misek, Executive Vice President of First Hawaiian Bank and Chief Risk Officer. We're at the half here in Aloha Stadium, and the lead is 25 for St. Louis.
This Spectrum Network's presentation is sponsored by Zippies, your Hawaii Honda dealers, SHOPO, the State of Hawaii Police Officers Union, and Jack in the Box.
Back here at Aloha Stadium, 31-6 our score. St. Louis leads here in the Division I Open Championship game. Felipe Ojasco along with Darren Hernandez. All right, real quick thought. What do you thought about the first two quarters?
Well, I said Kahuku had to play a perfect game, and they haven't. They got beat on the second play of the game for a big touchdown, and it's pretty much been all downhill from there. Their only running threat, Zealand Matangi, left the game with an apparent shoulder injury. They haven't been able to get anything going since then. He had a beautiful touchdown run. Since then, it's been all St. Louis.
Kahuku does get the ball to start the third quarter, though, but St. Louis already has more than 300 total yards in offense. As you take a look at the halftime stats, fresh out of the oven, they're delivered by Pizza Hut. We mentioned the turnovers, just the one interception thrown by Jaden Delora as well.
And it really didn't hurt them because they got a block in the back call that negated a touchdown that would have really made the game interesting at that point, but the penalty was called, and if you look at 105 rush yards. Now 52 of those came on one play on a scramble by Delora, but not a typical Delora passing night, 217 yards, but you know, that's one half. If he does the same, that's 400 plus yards. So he's doing what he does.
Kahuku rushed for 65 yards in the first quarter, but only -5 in the second because of the St. Louis defense.
They've made great adjustments on the defensive side. In the beginning, they had some struggles, but St. Louis's defense just amazing. Like I said earlier, it seems like they're playing with 14 players. They got every gap covered. They got guys flowing to the ball, and they're tough on every level. They rush the passer, they can stop the run, and their backers and secondary just been moving.
And so we'll check in with Jimmy Bender in just a little bit here from Aloha Stadium in the first Hawaiian Bank State Football Championship.
And the lead is 31-6 for St. Louis over Kahuku here at the half at Aloha Stadium. How's it, Jimmy Bender with you? And I know things aren't going the way Kahuku really wants them to go at this point, but I do want to give a shout out to Stuart Carvalho, Sterling Carvalho's brother, who came up to me before the game and said, "Hey, Jimmy, I got something for you in my bag." And he pulled out this. Oh, look at that. That's those Japanese Kit Kats. What you know about that? This one is called Party Ice Cream. There's some Japanese writing on the bottom. I'm not sure what it says, but see, you'll notice here the bag's open. We've been eating them. I think what that says is these are so good, don't share them with Felipe or Darren. My Japanese is a little rusty, but I think that's what it says. When we come back, second half kickoff, will things be sweeter for the Red Raiders? I know they sure hope so. Stay tuned to Spectrum OC16.
Hey, time now for our final tournament trivia question. Okay, only 4 games in the HHSAA and Prep history, Coach, have had more than 30,000 fans in attendance. Which school participated in all 4 games? Don't give me the answer yet. Everyone at home, think about it. Think about it. You're smiling, and I think you know what the answer is. Just hang on, partner. Let's get to the head-to-head here. Let's start off with Kahuku and Zealand Matangi.
Yeah, Zealand Matangi is just a wonderful talent. The entire defense knows he's going to get the football, and this is the tough and the toughest and the best defense in the state. So to do what he's done with an injured shoulder, quite remarkable. That young man is tough as nails.
How about St. Louis? And we go to the air. And who else but Jaden Delora?
Well, Delora has such a nice tight spiral. He's thrown some beautiful passes, some that have been dropped through the hands of some of his receivers. Some of them are really good, sure-handed receivers, and they've dropped some passes. But he just puts that ball on a rope, on a line.
And there you see the numbers for Delora and Matangi. 56 on the ground for Matangi. 217 through the air, the touchdown and the interception. The pick ended up being a pick 6, but was called back because of a block in the back foul. Ruled against Kahuku. It's not the biggest crowd in the history of the state tournament, obviously. There are no fans in the north and south end zones. Typically they open the south end zones, but still a fairly decent crowd here at Aloha Stadium. We had 2 neighbor island teams win the D2 and D1 state championships so far. And the D1 game might be the game of the year. Kahuku gets the ball back to start the second half, and from the 16, here's Tomasi Pasi. And Pasi's going to get pushed back emphatically. La'akea Lewis, the linebacker, on special teams, makes a stop just shy of the 30-yard line. Wait until you see what Keaka Ching brings up as he continues his amazing adventure at Shelter Lodge in Alaska on the next Hawaii Skin Diver, Tuesday night at 8:30 on Spectrum OC16. Kahuku with just 76 total yards of offense in that first half, 60 of them on the ground, 56 of those 60 courtesy of Zealand Matangi. About 24 yards away from 1,500 for this season. Got past Nick Herbig, slipped by him. How about the extra blockers out in front with Zion Ayu and Marcus Lombard leading the way as Matangi at the bottom of the pile gets hit by Tufunga and Latu.
I'll tell you what, again, look at Zealand Matangi, a kid who is gone to the sideline on 3 occasions with an injured shoulder. He is undaunted. 31-6, the lead means nothing to him. He's a straight football player, and he just wants to run the ball.
Run of 7 here for Matangi. He's going to be one of those great running backs that will return. And when he's a senior and he's seasoned, it's going to be fun to watch him next year as Latu. Started with a game-high 7 tackles now.
Kamoi Latu, from his safety position, just lines up the ball carrier. No one blocks him. You don't typically block a safety in a run game scheme. So he's coming free on every play.
Father Paul played DB over at St. Louis. So he comes in to make that 7th tackle of the night. And Kelson Tangaro Kanoa now. There's about 10 guys on the field here for Kahuku.
Timeout, Kahuku. First timeout of the second half.
I think they were waiting for Anese Tonga. And so Kahuku, with only 10 guys, had to take timeout. Send me a picture of it. Well, Sterling Carvalho, the second-year head coach for the Kahuku Red Raiders, looking to try and convert this 3rd down. 2 of 7 on 3rd down conversions this evening. Zila Matangi back in. So the opening Kahuku drive of the period. And we had early movement on that left side. The guard and the tackle. They had Hemuli and I think it was Manu Maleuna.
False start. Offense, number 65. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Yeah, Mamoy Manu Maleuna.
Looks like 65 and 70 moved, and that's 280 and 320. It's 2 big bodies right there. That's 600 pounds of man moving in tandem.
And the guy on the right is a sophomore. Great kid too. Pushed it back, 3rd down. Adolfo trying to direct through it, and incomplete to Cole Pruitt. Pruitt, his first year in the varsity team for the Ka'ava kid. Played at EA Park JPS football growing up.
Is there a more beautiful place on the island than Ka'ava?
Oh,
it is just
gorgeous, right?
It's beautiful. Little sidearm there. Pruitt had no chance.
And again, it's a chance for Prince Solomon to return this kick. The average punt for Kahuku today is 28 yards. This one hangs, and it's gobbled up at the 37-yard line. 32 on the punt. And St. Louis will get the ball back here in a 25-point lead. When we reflect back on St. Louis's season, right, it really kind of put them into the national notoriety. I mean, they already had some national notoriety heading in, but that Bishop Gorman game in this stadium when they won 31-19.
Yeah, that was tremendous. And look, I mean, the only Punahou, that's the only team that gave them a game.
Right. Well, and to be fair to Mililani did have a lead early on in the first quarter, but St. Louis just dominated the next three. Of course, the Mililani regular season matchup, not the semifinal matchup, as Tali'ulu takes it through. But you know, even though that this is the final game of the HHSAA season, you know football is just going to continue, right? Because there are just a ton of different bowl games that are out there as more kids and more players, especially seniors, try to find that opportunity to land a D2, a D3, a D1, or whatever college they want to go to.
And football has become such a year-round sport now.
Delora to Wilson. Wilson yanked out of bounds. Still stayed up by Frisco Abeao.
Roman Wilson now 7 catches, 169 yards and a touchdown. Putting on quite a show here. It'll be interesting to see where he ends up at Michigan, whether he'll be a slot receiver, probably used in the slot.
Pressure comes from Kaufusi, thrown on the run, and Nishigaya caught it in bounds. It went over Monofromo Wanavamu right to the 17-yard line, gain of 22. How in the heck did he stay in?
And look at this beautiful spiral touch pass.
And I think he's out of bounds here. They just showed the replay on the Jumbotron in the stadium. We have a similar look at it.
He also had...
And the challenge flag is thrown here. Challenge flag thrown before the play.
They're going to say, trying to say they got the ball off, but the other thing about that play, if they take a closer look at it, one of the St. Louis offensive linemen was way down the field. There you go.
Off the touch, and that touch propelled the ball a little bit further, and so that toe right there.
Kahuku.
And Kalen Ellis.
Kahuku is challenging the ruling on the field of a completed catch.
Kalen Ellis, number 76, was way down the field as well. Now, not sure if they can look at that, but remember last time they weren't looking for something and they saw the Campbell player running off the field.
12 man on the field can be reviewed. I'm not sure if a legal man downfield could be ruled here, but first, he doesn't have possession just yet until roughly there, and then it looks like, and that's why that paint is painted out there in white.
Yeah, I see no green. I did not see green between the toe and the sideline.
You only need 1 foot too, and so
unless they count
that
the
right there
catch before that next foot came down, the second foot came down.
Matt Sumson on the right, Mitchell Rembo dead center, the replay official here. It's a good job by our crew finding the angle in the truck and more importantly the correct angle. So Kahuku challenges. Remember, Stern Carvalho already won a challenge in the semifinal game. Trying to go 2 for 2 here. And boy, did he chuck that flag. It's like he went to the Robert Victor School of Flag Throwing and nearly got it to the line. So when they take out the car and they're writing down information, the initial indication seems like that this ball is incomplete and they got to reset everything. Now this is a different booth than what it was last week. They were usually in the Chancellor's box last week, but this time they're in the actual video replay booth that they use for the University of Hawaii football games and collegiate games. So communication from down there to up here. There you see the First Hawaiian Bank box. Here's us. And there you see the main press box. Yeah, so this one, so they're either doing their taxes or no. Obviously, this feels like it's going to get called back, and just marking where the ball is, how much time is left, and what the down and distance is. And Kahuku fans are cheering because this one is going to go back. And here's Craig Shaner.
After review, it was an incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd and 10 on the 39-yard line.
And Kahuku not charged a timeout. They win one more challenge, they can win a third. .9:25 remaining here. Good job to challenge, good job to recognize it. At this point in the game, right, it doesn't hurt to challenge, so.
And he's 2 for 2.
Yes. One of the longer reviews that we've had, and understandably so, right? Because officials are trying to find the best angle and the definitive angle that says, yes, it was an incomplete pass. So the ball moves to the near hash mark. We're past the 9 o'clock hour here. Weather has dipped down, obviously, because it's nighttime, but it's been a bit chilly. 78 degrees. Had some nice winds come through. St. Louis looking for the win. Throwing a 4th state title in a row. Here's Wilson. Wilson was 21 away from his career high of 190. Gets a bite of 7 there.
He's getting very close to that 190. He may break the 200 mark. Still 9 minutes left in the third, and the starter's still in the game, so he'll have his opportunities.
176 receiving here now on 8 catches for Wilson. This is 3rd down and 3. 5 in the pattern. Delora throws. Caught Nishigaya. Manafuno Monavamu pushes him out of bounds. Gets him to the 24. It's a 1st down. It's the 14th 1st down of the game after the gain of 8.
Delora has such a quick release. It's very difficult to defend, not only against his scrambling ability, but his reading ability. He makes quick reads in this run and shoot offense, and that's the key. If you have quick reads and a quick release, plus the ability to scramble, that's a triple threat.
5 receivers again. Silva frees up. Ace Kalfusi wraps him up. Still trying to get it going inside the 15-yard line. He takes it. That's another guy that doesn't get enough credit that he deserves. Isaac Silva, right? So much has been talked about Roman Wilson, Matt Sykes, Kawali Nishigaya, but then you have Isaac Silva saying, hey, don't forget about me.
I love Isaac Silva because he catches the tough catches, the tough yards, and he does a lot of the dirty work. In the run game, he's not afraid to block. He's very unselfish. He knows he's the 4th option, but he embraces it.
Delora takes off. Dives! Touchdown!
Jaden Delora. This was a called quarterback draw all the way. And he was not going to be denied, launching himself from about the 4-yard line.
Well, a touchdown, so automatically reviewed, but had enough possession to get across the goal line and break the plane. Napu'uno's had a very busy night here for St. Louis. 4-4 on extra points. Hit a field goal earlier from 35 out, and with a penalty flag down, this one gets through. Have the penalty go on the kickoff here.
The result of the play is a successful PAT. Personal foul on the defense, hurdling. 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
Every St. Louis quarterback has that one big photogenic moment. That might be it here for Delora, the dive into the end zone. St. Louis in control. Spectrum OC16 on demand gives you total control. Tune to channels 14 and 1014 to access your favorite sports shows on Spectrum OC16. Well, Jaden Delora, 263 through the air, 77 on the ground. He's got 3 total touchdowns today. His 8th rushing touchdown of the season, and the lead is 32. Remember, the hurdling penalty sets up this kickoff here for Ray Seabury, in for the first time at the Kahuku 45, and Kahuku will have it at the 20-yard line. Now we have a ton of whistles here. They ended up out there, and that's where they'll have it at the 20-yard line. Kahuku, who has 84 total yards of offense. St. Louis at 384 right now. So here comes Tiger Adolfo. Back on. You know, the pieces here for Kahuku can make another run at the OIA championship, right? I mean, Mililani's defense looks very good, obviously. Camel's got some pieces, but, you know, they got a good quarterback. You still have Titus Mokia Atimalala. And good stop there for Herbig. Kelson Tengaro Kanoa. Delora was holding up 4 fingers on his way after he scored his rushing touchdown. Four, right there. He smells it. Again, with the youth on this team here for Kahuku, I mean, there's still a pretty good chance, and a good JV team that Sola Solei did this season got to the OI title game, that Kahuku could be back yet again in this predicament next year.
Yeah, it depends what the principals and the ADs vote on as far as if they're going to renew the Open or if they're going to separate from the ILH. And there's a lot of talk going on, but again, that's just talk. We'll see what happens. The principals have the final say. And, you know, I've been getting a lot of text messages tonight when I did mention that St. Louis is so good that they could play on a national level. And I didn't mean that they should avoid Hawaii competition, but I'm just saying that they are on a level where they can compete, and I mean it as a compliment. They can compete on the national stage.
Brought down by Alualu. The ball came out. They're going to run forward progress at the 4-yard line. It's a sack, though, here for Alualu. His second one today.
Look at the speed off the edge. Nowhere to go. Adolfo loses the ball at the end, but he was already down. Just a disastrous series of plays for the Red Raiders. But getting back to St. Louis, they are so talented and they are so well coached. It's such a machine. I know they could do great things against mainland competition.
Hua gets it off return at the 42-yard line, and Solomon gets ripped down to the ground there. Okay, we mentioned this trivia question earlier. I just saw your eyes kind of open up a little bit more when we just showed this. Only 4 games in HHSA Prep Bowl history have had more than 30,000 fans in attendance. Which school participated in all 4 games, Coach?
Well, I'll tell you what, I know 2 of those games, the participants were Kamehameha and Waianae. So I would have to say the other 2 games.
No, you're guessing which team participated in all 4 games.
Yeah, so I'm saying Waianae and Kahuku played each other twice. I would go with Waianae playing in all 4.
Correct.
Wow, there you go.
And 78 against Kamehameha. That's the highest attended game.
Before cable TV.
That's right. And iPhones and, you know.
Running water.
And chicken sandwiches.
Yeah.
Running water.
The layup game, offense, number 7. 5-yard penalty, first down.
And to be honest, we're never going to see a crowd like that ever. I think like with this generation of fans.
They'd rather sit in their room and watch it on their phone.
Or on pay-per-view. Spectrum.
Exactly. But it doesn't matter what size screen is what I mean. They'll watch it on a big screen or on a little screen, but they prefer the comfort of their own home.
Oh, this one went off the back of Wallace. Peter John Matar was guarding him. Wallace didn't turn around. Some of the reserves are in now here for St. Louis.
Just for some perspective, ESPN started their cable news division, sports division, in 1979. So 1978, you still had 3 channels and pub and NPR.
Yeah.
You know, Sesame Street and the like. And that's it. And Nova and Nature.
Right. And Mr. Ed.
Yeah.
2nd and 15 after the incomplete pass and the delay of game. Delore to the middle, going down to the ground. Ishigaya brings it in for his 3rd catch. Today, what were you doing in 1979, by the way?
Well, it was 1978, and I was a freshman in high school.
Nice. Ishigaya with his 3rd catch for 28 yards after the gain of 15. Wallace in for Wilson. St. Louis up 32. The next score can take us into Mercy Rule. Delore thinking about it. Looking left. Throwing left. It's caught. Isaac Silva. Wrapped up by Kanafanomo Anavamu. The long line of legendary quarterbacks in the Cowley era. I mean, too many to name, really, right at this point. But they write a book about the history of Hawaii high school football. At least half of the chapters are going to be about St. Louis football.
I think St. Louis football needs its own book.
Kamaka Viva Ole, his first carry tonight, gets stopped at the 10-yard line. Let me ask you, you got to play and coach in this open division, right? In this interleague format. What was your experience like?
Well, I can tell you that right now the ILH is a little ahead of the OIA. I think at the top, St. Louis and Punahou, they're a lot ahead. I think everybody else is chasing St. Louis and Punahou. They're the cream of the crop in the division. Then it gets a lot more watered down after that. Speed option that went outside.
Yeah, I remember it's at the spot of where that ball ended up, so it's out of bounds as Kanafanomo Anavamu was guarding it and trying to find Ishigaya.
I mean, when St. Louis can mercy rule the 2 best teams in the OIA, Mililani and Kahuku, or come close to doing it, that is saying something right there about St. Louis and their power. I mean, let's face it, going into the season, it was almost a foregone conclusion that St. Louis was going to win and they're the best team.
Dropped by Ishigaya. Frisco Avaya was guarding the pass.
But you still got to practice hard and play and don't shrink from the competition. It makes everybody better. It's just that St. Louis is so much better than everybody else. You know, there's a lot of haters out there. St. Louis is an all-star team. They have players from all over. That's why they're winning. They have the best players. You know what? They do have the best players, but they have the best coaches. They have a tremendous tradition of excellence and winning, and parents want to send their kids there, period.
Of course, enrollment has pretty much doubled prior to Cal Lee arriving at St. Louis. Question is, what's the future of Cal Lee like, right? I mean, how much is there left to prove? I don't know if it's about anything about proving as Matangi gets outside. Got pushed from behind by Jordan Botello. Good run there from Matangi past the 30.
I know Cal Lee, and he's a humble guy, but he's a competitor, and he likes to win. I'd like to see him stick around another year and go for 300 wins. That would be a nice capstone moment to his storied career.
Win tonight and put him at 292, and they've already played 12 games. You see the Kahuku average this season running the ball. Tonight at 82. They have 98 total yards of offense. Pruitt's in motion. Give here to Matangi, who continues to fight.
And this defense has stonewalled every rushing attack that they've gone against. And right now, Matangi with 20 carries for 84 yards. If he breaks off a 15 to 20 yard run in the next few plays, he'd probably be, I'm not sure about this, but I would venture to guess he'd be the first 100-yard rusher against this team.
Oh, in the middle to Lucana Enos, incomplete. Enos has an opportunity to play ball, you know, walk-on role, or at least an opportunity in that sense at Utah, where big Bradley is. Penalty flag is down. Just the amount of Kahuku players that are all over the country is amazing. And they're all massive.
Yeah, they're from coast to coast.
Yeah.
Holding, defense number 3. 10-yard penalty. Penalty results in a first down.
Kaiser Camacho.
And you think Cal Lee is not competitive? You think that he doesn't want to win? Not every play, not every game, every play he wants to win.
If you're reading lips, I think he's saying, how did that official see that from all the way over there?
I thought he said Happy Thanksgiving.
Moves it here to the 43, to the air, and it's incomplete right between Latu and Kaiser Camacho. Oh, Pruitt was trying to squeeze through, but that would zip by Ikaika Wells as well.
That was one of the weird play where everybody just stopped and looked at each other like, is that for you? No. For you? No, you take it.
Kahuku's fan base continues to grow. That passion runs deep as Adolfo tries to run away. Oh, he got Nick Herbig moving a little bit. Cut out in front of him. Brown comes in to make the tackle.
What a smart play by Adolfo right at the end. Looks like he was going to get creamed by Lavaya Brown, and he smartly ducks under the hit.
Ooh.
19 shakes 19.
Oh, a near ankle breaker. We got by him. Matangi's going to take this snap, already 84 rushing yards. Herbig sealed off that edge beautifully with McKenzie to help get the stop. Going to lose some yards here. Back into around the 48-yard line of Kahuku.
Nothing doing outside, and penetration up the middle. Big Stanley McKenzie, 6'2", 280, a powerhouse defensive tackle. He is productive.
Albert commit. Going for it here on 4th down. That one is incomplete. Over Herbig, intended for Tomasi Passi, and Brian Cox on the top side of that was trying to dive for the interception, and so St. Louis takes over with a minute 12 seconds remaining. St. Louis put some of their reserves in earlier, trying to get them some reps. You saw Matt Funga on the right earlier, and Sola Soliai, who's the head coach of the JV program this year, fell to Mililani in the OI championship game, but a number of those guys got pulled up to play varsity. Connor Apo will throw it here to Prince Solomon. Tackled here by Nohi Kaniho. Connor Apo, we saw him get a little bit of action with this Waimanalo boy. 2 for 3 at 5 yards in the game against Mililani. They have injuries to Bianco. They had Kikahi Graham come in a couple times. They talk about quarterback factory. Again, the amount of people that go to St. Louis and are just willing to wait 1, 2, for some guys even 3 years to get significant playing time.
Yeah.
It's incredible. A lot of patience. Outside, here's Apo.
And I've said it before, Connor Apo pushed out of bounds by Ace Kaufusi there. Connor Apo would go to many other schools, most other schools, and start. But he's biding his time, waiting his turn. And it's not a shoe-in next season because they open it up again every year. They open up the competition for all positions. And he's got some guys behind him that are also hungry to play. And they're just going to compete and work hard and try to win the starting job.
Middle run for Tum Pop with 20 seconds here to go. Let's give you the HHSA championship history here real quick. You see Iolani Kahuku tied for most at the top. You see St. Louis with their last one coming in 2018. Can add Lahaina Luna's 4th championship after defeating Kapa'a 21-10. So Kahuku and St. Louis battling it out yet again. St. Louis looking to add one more to that list as the quarter comes to an end. One quarter away from their 4th consecutive state championship. This presentation of the first Hawaiian Bank State Football Championships continues after this on Spectrum OC 16. Enterprise scores around town. Let's give you the rundown of our championship triple header. Lahaina Luna wins their 4th consecutive D2 championship by 11 over Kapa'a, and then Hilo in an amazing game. Comes back down 14, scores the final 17 of the game. That one is blocked. Ace Kaufusi deflected it, and Tomasi Passi recovers. St. Louis's first punt of the night is snuffed out from a 6'3" senior linebacker.
When your offense is so powerful, maybe you just forget how to punt. Nice rush, and what a great job. Kahuku got high.
And it was on the arm that wasn't even extended to go up and block. It was on the down arm.
Yeah, that's how high he was. And we talked about this defense. The entire front seven of St. Louis's defense has D1 offers. We talked about Herbig, Wisconsin, McKenzie, Cal, Notre Dame for Botello, Oregon State, Tufanga, Central Michigan, Brown, Army, Masaniai, Alualu. Just amazing.
Cypress Abraham flipped it back here to Frisco Avial. Abraham got it, Avial juggled it. It's chased out there by Kona Moore.
A hook and lateral.
Yeah, got it. And Moore wrapped him up. Good job.
Moore, what a nice play.
Frisco's been on this team for a while too. Remember, throughout the first 4 games of the year, he's had an interception. Nick Herbig gets his tackle. 4 tackles this evening.
Stonewalled.
Yep.
McKenzie leading the charge. When you got guys like Herbig and Botello on the edge.
Again, the D-money package, the defensive guys on offense. Here for Kahuku. Look at Adolfo looking for a block, and finally he just gets down. Jordan Botello was there. Alualu ended up landing on him. I think Kahuku fans wanted a hit there and a flag on him, but Botello sniffed it out.
You know, Botello this year has had a lot of attention placed upon him. He's been double teamed. The back has been chipping him. People have put a tight end on him. They've been crackback blocking him. He's been targeted by blockers all season long, and that has opened up Nick Herbig to have a big year.
Oh, look at Matangi going against Tufanga. Got a first down out of it. Look at Matangi just continuing to chug the 23 carries, 80 yards this evening.
With a sore shoulder. Boy, he's gonna need an ice bath after this. A zip pack while he's in the ice bath.
Manafono Moanavamu in as a blocking back. Handed off to him. Chased by Alualu. Threw it away and incomplete to Zion Ayu. Nick Herbig applied the pressure here. Well, why not? It's a little backyard football flavor through it. This is the play that you draw on the football before the next car comes down on your street.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. I guess it's a flea flicker with I've never seen a play like that, but it's cool.
9:45 remaining. Play clock down to 3. Oh man, that edge closed in quick. It was Nick Herbig. He gets the sack.
And Nick Herbig one-on-one against Elijah Faleolo, who's 6 feet 270. And Herbig just bull rushes him backwards into the quarterback. Wow.
5 sacks here for this St. Louis defense tonight. 3rd and 17, reversing the other way, and ripped down by Nick Herbig. That guy's a shark.
2 sacks in a row for Herbig.
Look at him.
You talk about relentless pursuit. That's number 19.
Herbig saw him and jumped him from behind. Got the sack. Liua with his heavy leg. Fair catch signal, but it goes away from Solomon and gets out of bounds at around the 16-yard line. 38-6. We'll be back. We look at St. Louis's average margin of victory this year at 24 points. They're up by 32 here with 8:19 to go. Start to finish, beginning to end. Just an amazing performance here from St. Louis. Right here to Mason Tali'ulu. Kenai Liua helps plug up the gap there. Of course, in addition to the end of the season, it's the end of the high school careers for a lot of the seniors on this team, right? And some of them might participate in some bowl games. JPS Paradise Football Classic coming up in January. The Senior Bowl's coming up in about a couple weeks over at Minilani to recognize the armed forces, the military community out there. 4 different teams, so best of luck to the seniors. I'll tell you what, it will drive basketball coaches crazy, though, because they want some of their guys back. That one batted up by Kanafano Moanavalmu. That's the second time that he's gone up and deflected that one.
Well, to all the basketball coaches, I say welcome to my world, because summer is where all the football players, if they're multi sport players, they're in soccer, they're in baseball, they're in basketball, they're in every other sport, and that's right before our season.
Here's Tali'ulu. And that is Ace Kalfusi to get to the outside. We got everybody. We have a penalty flag down. And another one thrown by the field judge on the opposite side of the play. With some of the emotions here, hopefully everything will stay calm. Here's Craig Shaner.
After the play, personal foul, offense, number 75. Half the distance to the goal, 4th down.
It's on Rod DuPont. Taking number 75 after the play and just took a shot after Joseph Talfa. Oh my gosh. Craig Shaner saw that. It's a good job there to recognize it.
And that's a defenseless player.
And so St. Louis will punt it. So Mason Tufunga will punt this one. St. Louis scored 14 in the first, 17 in the second, 7 in the third. No points here in the fourth. High kick towards Kaniho, who will get away from it. Kahuku will have the ball inside St. Louis territory. All right, Coach. So this is our final game together of this 2019 season. I think some thank yous should be shared. Coach, there's a camera right across the...
Yeah, what's up?
I just want to say thank you for another good season, our 6th year together. Sean Suiyoku, who's been one of our great spotters as well.
He's the man.
We have Thomas Yoshida, the best stat man in the business.
He's the man.
He is awesome. And further down there, we have John Sheena, who's been another spotter for us. So you see John, you see Howie in the back, and Ken Sato, all our great crew. Thank you so much.
Awesome. We love you guys.
And we do. We've had a whole bunch of coffee and tea throughout the night, and big mahalo to Dave Vinton and Dan Schmidt for letting me call 3 games, because last year it was a nightmare. Good job here for Cade Nakahiki Bourgeois.
In fact, we both got sick.
That's right.
At the ending of the 3rd game.
And Jimmy remembers that, right? Jimmy did a bang-up job coming in
He did.
Coming in relief.
Yeah.
And we love Jimmy too, and Jimmy, great year as always.
You lost your voice. I had like a high fever.
That's right.
We were like hanging by a thread. And Jimmy saved the day.
Right. 5 in the pattern here. And this pass is incomplete. Jimmy, you remember that game?
Yeah, totally. And what I remember, Felipe, is that was my first time doing football, and I give you all props because it's crazy hard. There's a lot of names on the boards. The guys are throwing me signals that I've never seen before. I didn't know what was going on, but yeah, I'm glad you're doing much better.
No, thank you very much.
You did a great job.
By those boards, we mean these boards that we use for our notes, and of course, you can kind of see them around. This is what we're reading off of. Here's Adolfo, chased by Alualu, on their way, and brought down. Took an O-lineman with him, Quincy Likio. In on the stop. The junior defensive lineman gets the sack.
Some of the reserves now getting a chance to play, and I like what they're doing. If you're St. Louis, you want to still preserve that proud tradition. You're going to win. You don't want to give up any easy touchdowns, so you do what we call mix and match. You put a couple of starters in, and you mix them around with a couple of reserves.
There's Kaniho. That's another guy we have to talk about, by the way. The 4 years on varsity here for Kaniho. Proud of that Kaniho bloodline. Banged up with injuries over his time. Remember, his freshman year, he had like a ton of flowing lion hair. And then as he got on, earned an offer from Boise State. Verbal commit over there. He'll join his brother, Kikaula. And so Kaniho playing in his final game as a Red Raider. Here's Jason Matitirangi, the new quarterback. They'll put Pono Carvalho in as well as a receiver. So the sophomore quarterback meets senior Nick Herbig. Penalty flag is down though. Oh man, that's Botello and Herbig coming right after you. Welcome to the game.
Matitirangi, not a big guy, 130-pound sophomore, and he just took a whack to the head.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 19. 15-yard penalty, 4th down.
He's on Herbig. We're 4th down now. That was a face mask penalty. Which will make it 4th down and about 4. You see Matitirangi's numbers. Pretty quick outside of the pocket, but they're still trying to get accustomed to the flow and the pace of varsity ball. And nothing will help you improve quicker than playing in the open division. Matitirangi on the run. Throwing. Caught. It's Tomasi Pasi. Kalako and Leviah Brown help get the tackle. It's a 1st down here for Kahuku inside the 15.
Matitirangi showing some quickness, throwing on the run, and Posse is a really good two-way player.
Levi Brown is down. Oh, the trainers was pointing to the helmet. Here for Brown, who has just worked his tail off here today. 7 tackles this evening. With the 5:48 remaining. Cowley comes over to look. Brown, Central Michigan commit. So the athletic trainers will tend to him, and it's been a long day for our crew. As they got here around 8 a.m. And then we saw a 1 p.m. Division II championship game, which saw Josh Tejada rush for 310 yards, the most by any running back in a championship game in any division. Made it 7-0 early on. Baba Na'o answered back for the Warriors to make it 7-7. Tejada rushed for his second touchdown to the north end zone to make it 14-7. At the break, it was 14-10 after a field goal made by Laqueo Gonzalez, and then Tejada with a big rush. Essentially the nail in the coffin. And the one to solidify the four-peat. Here for the boys from West Maui. Boys and girls gonna be all happy on that bus ride back home. Brown all good.
The bands are not required. The bands cannot play while the quarterback or the down is ready to go. Bands will need to stop playing. Thank you.
When the snap is imminent, all noise from the marching bands have to cease. And of course, there's been quite some confusion because at the time, for years, there was an OIA band rule and an ILH band rule, right? And so the HHSA just kind of unified it, and the Kahuku band's just like, what? We're just eating. This throw is caught by Frisco Avial. And Avial's chased out of bounds at the 10-yard line. So bring up second down to 6. Kahuku trying to get one more score on the board to kind of hang their hat on. And remember, this is a game, coach, where they played early in the regular season, right? But it was cut at the half because of the crazy weather around the area. There were power surges all throughout the island.
Lightning.
Yep, and it knocked out a bank of lights. And both coaches addressed. Kahuku wanted to play. Cowley opted not to, so ultimately the decision was just not to play. Over the head and incomplete by Zealand Matangi. Because the fear was, and understandably so, right? If during course of play another bank of lights goes out, it limits the player's vision, and you don't want having players run into each other with low visibility. And so the game ended at 28-0. That was September the 14th. This will be a full game, and a game that has been put in control by St. Louis since the opening drive. It only took them 22 seconds to score the first touchdown. Mariterangi steps into a throw, which is high over the top of Nohi Kaniho. Ooh, that had some hot sauce on it.
And Kaniho was open, but just a little too high. Mariterangi, a little guy, but he has some pop in the throw.
Brother of Jordan Mariterangi, as we mentioned, 2016 graduate who also played quarterback. Also helps out the younger Mariterangi. Troy was a great player as well for the youth football team, Team Pride. That is Alvin is an assistant coach with this team. He'll improve during the pylon season. That pass is picked. Sideline run. This is going to go the other way. Nick Herbig on a stellar season this year. Runs it back all the way for the touchdown. With a penalty flag down. Mason Tufunga down. Didn't see what happened. But a penalty flag in the area. And this is something that the officials want to eliminate quickly, right? The emotional level, especially with an injured player here. Trying to calm down the emotions and hoping that this doesn't escalate.
The helmet is off. We didn't see the nature of the injury. We just hope and pray that he's okay.
Let's see where this ball was picked off.
The previous play is under review.
It stands. It could be a 96-yard, make a 97-yard pick six. The previous play is under review because right now the replay booth is seeing if there's any hit is lethal enough to warrant a disqualification. Let's see here. It happened on the run back, I believe. So it's out of the frame here, so it's going to be tough to see. We're trying to find any open window where we can see where the hit or how Tufunga got hurt.
And there are lots of officials on the sideline that are watching, and
right.
Somebody had to see the hit.
That's a great sign as Tufunga pops up. A good shot, a sign here from Sterling Carvalho, making sure he's okay, shakes hands with Cal Lee, and hopefully nothing materializes after this. 97-yard pick six here for Nick Herbig. The longest pick six in the history of the D1 Open Championship. And also, it'll put us into mercy rule timing. But first, checking the flag.
The ruling on the field stands as a touchdown. During the play, personal foul on Kahuku, number 54. The player is disqualified.
It's on Skittles Wa'a. And so they deemed the hit, which we did not see. And couldn't find it here, unfortunately. But the other officials down in the field saw it, and so they're saying that the hit was big enough and dangerous enough to warrant a disqualification. This is Skittles Wa'a. So now they're trying to find it here. They might find like a huddle highlight, which is, I believe, what they're looking at right now. Wa'a is walking back to the locker room, which he's not required to unless he's accompanied by a coach. And now another coach is going to follow him. So Wa'a will walk back into the tunnel. Unfortunate. I mean, obviously you just can't do that because obviously your emotions get the best of you. And whatever hit that was made on Wa'a will cost him the rest of this game.
And he is a senior, so that's the last play that he ever plays here.
Officially a 96-yard pick six. And Seabury tucks that one in. Well, Nick Herbig adding to his legacy. First pick six of the year.
The personal foul on Kahuku will be enforced on the kickoff.
We see Nick Herbig, the 96-yard interception for touchdown. Runs it back. It's 45-6. See Jake Lackadin, assistant coach, former linebacker, played in Nevada too. In the background. 5:09 here to go. The lead is 39, so it is mercy rule timing. So the clock will only stop on penalties, injuries, scores, and timeouts here. The final 5:09. And this smells like a touchback. And it will be. Coach, you and I did a lot of games this year. Very lucky to work with you this season. You know, when we look back at the 17 weeks that we spent together, what moment, what game, what play is going to stand out to you? Because there's been a ton of interesting moments as this year has gone on.
I think the most exciting play was the kick return for a touchdown in the OIA championship by Kelson Tangaro Kanoa that led to the Kahuku victory. I mean, that was such a that was an amazing comeback for a Kahuku team that got swamped 32-0.
Yep.
And then to come back and win in that fashion on special teams, that was an amazing moment for me.
I want to get Jimmy's opinion on that. Jimmy, we're going to ask you a little bit in a second here. What your favorite moment was, or player moment from this season was. This goes to Aviao, and Aviao gets undercut right there just past the 20-yard line. For me, honestly, it was going to be Waterloo winning the OIA championship, right? In Division I over Lelehua in double overtime. But after watching that Division I state championship game, that kick from Keanu Keolanui from 55 to not only tie a state tournament record, but to win the game off the crossbar and in for Hilo to capture their second state championship in 3 years. That, for me, was probably the best game.
Yeah, that was amazing. And hats off to the Hilo Vikings. They came to play. They did an amazing job. The first half, they didn't really play their game. And the second half, they absolutely kicked it into high gear, and they pretty much dominated the game in the second half. So an amazing job by the Hilo Vikings.
This is the kick from 55 off the post and in to win the state championship. Are you kidding me?
Yep. They'll always remember that. So great job, Hilo.
Jimmy will come to you. Jimmy will come to you after this play as Mariterangi feels the heat, and the ball popped out. It's picked up here by Heimuli. Heimuli, the sophomore, has everyone feeding on him. All 320 pounds of him after Pride Kui forced that football out. Way to go, big boy. Ain't nobody gonna mess with you.
I love it.
Good job for Pride Kui to force us out.
Great job, Pride Kui. And there you see Heimuli. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9 people.
Oh my God.
To tackle this behemoth.
Ever tried feed fish in the Alawai Canal? This is what it looks like.
Wait a second. I think that might be my favorite moment of this.
They want a kick. As this one will die down inside the 40-yard line to the 37. All right, Jimmy, what's going to stand out to you in this 2019 season?
You know, I'm going to have to go with Kaimuki's win in that Division II OIA championship game because of the emotion that I saw from the players. Like Jaden Mayaba, they couldn't even get him up off the ground. He was so struck with the moment, you know, and it was just amazing to watch them pull that off.
Well, that's a good one. But I might have to bump that one from Heimuli, too, up on the list. Just the presence of mind here for the sophomore to pick it up. And
look at the smile on the face of that big kid. 6'3", 320. You gotta love it.
Living the dream. Clock should be running here. I don't know why it stopped at 3:25. The Kahuku Makaviva Ole running this one through. As Kamakana Wilkins comes in to make the tackle. So many great memories, so many great games that we have seen, especially since September really started, right? I mean, you and I were there for Campbell at Kamehameha, our first game in about a decade over at Kinuya Stadium.
That was fun.
Kamehameha almost pulled it off. And Abuma Afala's did a good job of that program. His time over there as they get ready for the 2020 season. Here's Kamakawiwa Ole again. Brought down at the 46-yard line. So typically, when does next season begin for a football team? Either weightlifting or training or preparing?
Well, it depends. For a typical team, there is a dead period that some teams don't respect, but there is a dead period where you're not supposed to touch the players and you're not supposed to do weight training or workout. So the dead period is usually in December, January. That give them like a winter break, and then you start again. As soon as the middle of January starts, you can start weight training and get going again for the next season.
Justin Tsai got that last carry. All but a formality here as we are past the 10 o'clock hour on this final Friday night in November. We get ready for beach volleyball on Sunday and basketball season in January. Uppo hands it off here to Kamakawiwa Ole. And he'll get stopped. They're on 4th down. Again, I don't know why the clock is stopping here with 1:23 remaining.
And typically, after this season ends, it's also a huge time for recruiting. Colleges come in and colleges do their recruiting during that time.
With all the extra bowl games getting ready for the seniors and some of the underclassmen, we wish you the best of luck. To all the coaches and athletic directors, thank you so much for your time and your patience. And really, the last 6 months have been wild. From spring ball to fall ball. And now here's Kahiona Chang, the senior. Getting some action. No official attendance has been announced just yet. Usually when they do the attendance, they combine all 3 games into one number. So if you see a number in your, media story, whether it's online or in the paper, just know that that number encompasses all 3 games. It wasn't the biggest crowd. In fact, the last time that these two teams met in the final was 2017, another classic. That place was packed and rocking, and the stadium was shaking. Decent crowd here, probably the biggest in the stadium of the season, but not by the typical standards as you would see in a Kahuku St. Louis matchup. Purcell takes down Chang with 35 here to go. Coming up later, we'll give you the Taco Bell play of the game, the Hawaii Honda Dealers Impact players. Being told that they're still counting the people for the attendance. Hopefully we get a number before we leave here tonight. Kahuku can run one more play if they want to end this season.
Please give it to Heimuli.
Koluna gonna take this snap. Oh, no, they're gonna take it off for Purcell. Purcell's gonna throw it, and this one is caught by Jack Tito. And he gets taken down. 0-0s on the clock. That will do it. From start to finish. One of the most dominant dynasties this state has ever seen. A four-peat, complete, courtesy of the St. Louis Crusaders. 2019 Division I Open champions. They win it 45-6 and claim the crown. Title going back to Kalaipo Haku. We wrap it up when you come back here on Spectrum OC 16.
Yes, sir, baby. Let's go.
$45-6, St. Louis wins the 2019 First Hawaiian Bank Division I Open Championship. St. Louis had 161 yards in the first quarter. The rest of the game, they had 253. Kahuku had 72 yards in the first quarter. The rest of the game, he only had 50 yards here for the Red Raiders. Just dominant victory from opening kickoff to closing gun. And this dynasty continues here for St. Louis.
And I think, as we said before, coming out of the gates of this 2019 season, everyone knew that St. Louis was the best team, and I don't think anyone is surprised by this result.
Let's get to the Hawaii Honda Dealers impact player for St. Louis. Down to the field, here's Jimmy.
Hey, thanks a lot. I got Jaden Delore here with me, guys. And first off, Jaden, I mean, just give me the game plan and how it worked out for you guys tonight to have such a huge victory over a Kahuku team.
We just came out, we stuck to what Coach Rondon planned for us, what they set up for us, and we just trust in them, and it proved to work out for us.
Is it easy to trust when the second play from scrimmage you guys score a big touchdown?
Oh yeah, it's easy to trust. You know, coming into the season, you know, if you buy into what Coach them teach us from the beginning of the season before it starts, it's just everything's gonna fall into place as the season goes.
For you personally, oh, they got both of us. Hey, man, hey, for you personally, you've been part of 2 of the 4P. What kind of statement does this make for you heading off to Washington State?
And no, not really a statement for me. It's just, you know, not just me, but everyone else on this team, you know. We just get that opportunity to play at the next level. I think we can show out and prove everyone that we can play.
I was going to give these guys some time on the mic, but not now with the ice, man. Come on, guys. Yes, hey, sir. Impact player Jaden Delore, back to you guys.
No, this goes to them. This goes to the O-line.
Yeah, that's got to be cold there, Jimmy. The Hawaii Honda Dealers impact player. Jaden Delore here today, 285 through the air, touchdown and interception, and also rushed for a couple scores, Coach.
And 6 carries, 75 yards on the ground. He is the real deal. He is a complete quarterback, and typical in the line of St. Louis quarterback that we have seen in this 4-peat. We've seen no real running back leading the way, no real running game. We just seen some big bodies back there blocking, and the quarterback has become the running game. We saw it with Tua Tagovailoa. You saw it with Chevin Cordero, and now Jaden Delore, who has 2 championships.
I told Jimmy to bring extra shirts today, and a good thing that he did. And Jimmy took it like a champ, so thank you very much to Jaden Delore for his time, as he is the Hawaii Honda Dealers impact player for St. Louis. Let's get to Kahuku's Hawaii Honda Dealers impact player. What else could it be, right? The workhorse of this team back for 2020, next season, Zila Matangi.
Yeah, this kid right here is only a junior. He's 5'10", 195, over 1,000 yards this year on the ground. He is that typical workhorse back, so hard to bring down. Here he is, breaking tackles, making people miss. Zealand Matangi, I can't wait to watch him next year. We don't want to play against him, obviously, but I love watching the guy run the ball. He is terrific.
St. Louis's defense had 9 sacks and 21 tackles for loss
that is
this evening. I think when everything comes out of it, right, the conversation will be, is this among some of the best St. Louis teams? Now, with all due respect to some of those other St. Louis teams, I mean, they're at least in the conversation.
Yeah. No, I mean, when you look at St. Louis and all of their championships, you can write a book. You can write a book. Look at the players that have gone on to play in the NFL, win a Heisman Trophy like Marcus Mariota, win a national championship like Tua Tagovailoa. They've done it at every position. So no doubt about it, this program that Cal Lee has built, just amazing. And what he's done and what he's accomplished probably will never be equaled in the history of Hawaii high school football.
And best of luck to all those Division I recruits or Division II recruits or whatever college they go on and represent Hawaii well. One of those recruits is heading to Michigan, and it's Roman Wilson. He's part of the Taco Bell play of the game. This was just a second offensive play of the opening St. Louis drive. Deep ball downfield, 86-yard touchdown catch. I'm saying 176 receiving yards on 8 grabs, 14 shy of his career high. Had the touchdown, the peace sign. He's heading out of St. Louis and heading to the big house.
What a pass, too, by DeLaura. Dropped it in the bucket, and Roman Wilson high-stepping into the end zone.
And the celebration here with the trophy and the cheerleaders. The fourth will be put up. You're going to see this photo all throughout the media coverage, online and in the paper. All right, so as they get ready for the ceremony, we get ready to wrap up our 31st season of prep football here in Spectrum OC 16. You know, looking back at this season, you know, particularly at the OIA level, right? If you just look at OIA versus OIA, those rivalries still run deep, and they're still fun to watch. And I feel like new rivalries are still going to form here. It'll be interesting to see if they do continue this interleague format. It'll be up to the principals to decide that. But whenever you get OIA together, and we saw it in the OIA championship night, it is just so fun to watch. And that is when football is at its most crazy or most enjoyable, it seems, for a lot of these fans, because obviously there's 22 teams in the OIA and there's so many connections for those public schools. But for me, I mean, just looking at those rivalries in the OIA in particular, that's a fun thing to watch throughout the season.
You know, people love to see traditional rivalries. For example, Campbell and Waipahu, they play for the Cane Knife Classic. But they don't play each other anymore.
Yeah.
Mililani and Lelehua, that's a huge rivalry. They don't play each other anymore. So, I mean, I would love to see those rivalries come back, just because the OIA has a special place in my heart. But I think there's a lot of people who love the OIA as well and would love to see those rivalries return.
That trophy will get a whole bunch of kisses from St. Louis players. Coach, what are you thankful for? You want to wrap that up that way?
Yeah, you know, I'm thankful to God, who guides my steps and who leads my life.
Is that chain getting bigger, by the way?
It is. It is.
Okay. Well, we thank all of you for watching us. We thank everybody else at Goodhill for staying up late. And real quick before we go, our booth crew, everybody in the truck, everybody at NEP, everybody at the OIA, the ILH, the KIF, the BIF, and the MIL, and the HHSA. We love you. Thank you very much for everything. Coach, love you, buddy.
All right, bro.
With Coach and Jimmy, our entire crew, Felipe Ojastro, support high school sports. The Crusaders are the champs. So long from Aloha Stadium.